Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Heartberries by Teresa Marie Malhot. I read this book a while ago, so my thoughts on it are a little bit more chaotic than they were. It's a little bit less perfected than it was. I waited too long. I know I waited too long, so bear with me. I think for me, the biggest takeaway on this was the mental health aspect. I went into this thinking that it was going to be a full memoir talking about the ideas of mental illness, and that was going to be it, and it was going to be that simple. It was not that simple. It was a very experimental piece of fiction. No, it was a very experimental piece of nonfiction, and I appreciate that and found it really, really refreshing. But at the same time, I definitely was feeling a little bit, oh, there we go. I can set up higher. I was feeling a little bit concerned about my reading of this because for me, what I took away was the experience of the bipolar experience and also the experience of having a toxic relationship within your life. Whether or not that toxic relationship is fully the other person's fault, or whether or not the toxic relationship is something that you yourself are just holding on to and not really sure how to let go of, is really an interesting conversation. So the conversation about mental health in general was really interesting. It was deep, it was meaningful, it was very honest, and it was well depicted. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And I definitely would say that if you're interested in hearing the conversation about bipolar, this is an interesting place to start. It's a simpler place to start. It's not as technical and medical. It's a little more experiential. However, I wouldn't say that if you're not into experimental pieces of writing, this is going to work for you. It has an element to it that you really have to just accept and move forward with, and it's not in a linear way of writing. It's not sequential to time. It's more chaotic, and that is not entirely something that you can control in a book, but I was fine with it. I don't really mind things that feel a little chaotic within a book. My brain kind of is chaotic, so I follow things like that pretty easily. The thing that I really took away from this, though, was the relationship between Teresa and a man in her life, and that kind of toxic feeling of not good for either party, but you just can't let the other person go. And I really get that. It makes a lot of sense to me. It feels really familiar, and I'm not too far away from that kind of relationship myself right now, which is pretty scary to think about, and I can see the damage and I can see the danger, but I haven't fixed it yet, and I'm not proud of that fact, and I feel really shameful saying it out loud, but it's true. I'm really having trouble with a toxic relationship right now, and you guys can give me all the advice you want. I'm terrible at fixing it, so I'm working on it with my therapist as much as I can, and I'm doing all I can to figure it out, but it's left me in a kind of state of confusion, and I think that's what this book really talks about and addresses, is that kind of mixture of confusion and twisted thoughts that can come with that kind of toxic relationship. I really appreciated this book. I think it was great. I really, really recommend it in general, and I think that if you're interested in mental health, this is a great book to read. It talks a lot about it very openly and honestly, and I really appreciated that. So that is my thoughts, very brief, on Heartberries. I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it to a lot of people. If you have trouble with experimental fiction, it may not be right for you, but I really, really recommend it in general. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, click that subscribe button down below, and if you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment box. I will talk to you all in my next video, and I'll see you then. Bye.